Hey folks, Roland Martin here and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, today's rod fixing day. You know, over the years you get a lot of little problems with rods. And these are some rods that I've had for 10 or 15 years, all sorts of pieces of rods. But I save them, the little tips and stuff when I break different manufacturers for 25 years. But they have good guides and they have good inserts. And so here's a nice favorite rod. Here's one of my favorite Pro Series rods, but the insert is gone on the tip. So what I'm going to do, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. It's not hard to do. I'm going to go through this pile of old broken things, and I'm going to try to find a rod tip that has the same size. That's too big. That was too big. That's not going to work. Let's see. Let's find one that's the right size. This one here might be. That's about the right size. Look at that. Look at that. That's pretty much the right size. That's pretty much the same size diameter is this. So this rod tip here with the good insert is gonna replace this other one. Okay, so to do that, it's pretty easy to do. I don't have a real problem with doing it. I'm gonna just take a penknife, or a pocket knife, as you might call it, and I got one right here, and I have a little butane torch, okay, and I'm gonna first of all take the put my glasses on so I don't cut myself. Take this tip off the rod that's broken, okay? I'm just gonna kind of cut it right here. I'm gonna cut the thing and I'm gonna slowly heat it. Don't have to heat it much. I'm just cutting this this deal here. I'm gonna light this torch, okay? Turn the torch on. Heat it just for a second. Don't have to heat it much, just a little bit. And hopefully pull it hard. I can now heat it just a second more. See if it comes off. Okay, it came right off. Okay, it slid right off. It slid off. Okay, so that's a good tip. Now I'm going to do the same thing on my favorite rod. Just going to heat it up for a second. Take the wrappings off. You don't need wrapping. I mean, wrapping's fine. It's pretty, but for just the sake of the rod, you don't need much wrapping. Take this rod tip off. Okay, that rod tip came off. Okay, now I'm just kind of dress this up a little bit. Just kind of get it ready. Okay, now it's all dressed up, and it's just a straight little rod tip. It's just good. Let's see if it fits on this rod tip that I have took off. That's the next issue. And look, it fits perfect. It's just a perfect fit. It's exactly the right size. So, I'm going to take some cement. That's the first step. And this box here, this is kind of my tip box, and I have all sorts of glues, and I have all sorts of tips that I've taken off other rods, and I have packaged tips as well, and I have packaged guides. And I have carbaloid guides, and I have regular guides. I get all kind of stuff. Okay, but I'll take some of the cement, if I can find it. Here, it's a good one. Oh, this one here. This is it. I'll take the cement, and I don't need much. You don't need much cement. Cement's not a big deal. What I do is I'll take a little bit of cement, and just put it on that tip, just a little bit. Just kind of rub it on this thing right now, like that. Okay. I don't need to heat this up very much. It's a little deal. I'm going to put a pair of pliers on it, and I got the glue now on the rod blank. I'm just going to heat that tip up just for a second, and just heat this up. Okay, good. Just put it on there, and just stick it down on there fine. Okay, good. Now, shut this off and line that thing up. You just got to line it up. It's a little warm. It's not bad. Just line it up. It's going to dry in just a second. Now, if you want to be real creative, I have plenty of thread. I have the threading, and I could put a nice little wrap of thread on there as well. But I'm not going to do that. I don't need the cosmetics right now. I just want, and I'll use the thread for a guide. But for the tip top, I think I'm just going to leave it like it is. Now that it's set, it's right in right position. Hey, that rod's serviceable. It's all the guides are perfect. It's one of my favorite rods. It's my 7-foot. It's my good worm rod. It's actually, this is a, let's see what this rod is. Oh yeah, this is my good one. It's a 701 medium heavy action. I love it for Cincos. I love it. It's just my all-purpose rod. So I'll get that one ready to go. Okay, let's put that over here. Now, let's look at some of the other rods that I have here. Let's look at some of my shiner rods for just a second. Here's one here with the tip, but I'm not going to do the tip right now. I'll do the tip. Here's one, a nice shiner rod, that has a guide missing here, here, here. It has 3 guides missing. Okay, I can do that. Now, there's a couple ways of doing this. The guides have fallen out of that little crack right here, so maybe, just maybe, I can take a guide off of one of these rods. For example, here's a guide right here on this rod, and maybe I can take this off this rod. Let's just try it. Okay, it just came off. Okay, I just got this little guide back. Now, what you can do sometimes is you can look at, see, this is a single foot guide system. So that guide there was a guide sitting right here, and sometimes you can just move it back and forth and just push it back down to where it was. Here's, I'm gonna start up here and just see if I can get that one in position. Yeah. Okay, so what I can do, I can just rock it back and forth. I can just go right back to the same wrappings that it had and just kind of push it down, just put down with the pliers. Now that it's in position, I can take it. It's actually, the wrap is there. The wrap is right in position. So in other words, that wrap, I just put the guide down in the little slot. Now, to make it stay, let's use the super glue. You know, I'm using a Gorilla super glue, and that'll probably work. But you get a nice little bunch of super glue on there. It's really, really important to put the super glue on there. Okay, let's see. Let's get it right here. Let's get it right there. Get a nice little group. And while you're at it, here's the other deal. Sometimes these inserts fall out. So what I'm doing, I'm putting some super glue on the guide itself and on this guide, and while I'm doing it, I'm going to put super glue on these other guides and on the insert. And I'm just going to go ahead and put super glue so that they won't fall out, and so that the insert won't fall out. So I'm just going to kind of double reinforce everything that I got, and that means that maybe that won't fall out for whatever reason. Okay, I'm almost done. Now that tip needs to be replaced. That's another step. So that guide is all fine and dandy. Okay, let's put this top back on, and let's find another old rod. See, a lot of these rods that I have here, a lot of these old blanks have guides, and that was, I don't know what rod that was, but it has single foot guides. And again, I can take my knife and just kind of cut through that wrapping. Just kind of cut it like this, kind of like that. Okay. There. Now just pull the guide right off. The guide is off, and has a nice insert. There's nothing wrong with the guide. It's a perfectly good guide. I don't know what rod it's from. Probably some old rod I had 10 years ago. But the point is, it's a guide, and I can save some money by putting this on. Now again, I'll look at the rod. That thing fell off one of these. Of this spot here, it came right out of there. So let me just see if I can't just put that down with the pliers like I did before. Stick it down, wiggle it down in position. Oh yeah, it's going right in there. Going right in there. Perfect. Now, again, super glue. See, you can rewrap the guides, but if you can push it back into the old slot that it was in, that's a quick step. It's a quick fix. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm fixing it. I'm super gluing the insert also in the guide, and that all around that foot of that guide to really hold it in position. Okay, it's not the most cosmetically perfect looking guide because there's a little lump of super glue on there. Hey, but it's serviceable and it's going to work. And I'm going to use this rod for my shiner. Well, it's this good shiner rod. This is a perfect shiner rod. It's a heavy duty rod. Like right now I'm fishing headwaters and I'm using 65-pound test rod line. I'm using a big heavy rod. This rod here is it's a what is it? It is a 14 to 30-pound test line. It's a heavy, this is actually a flipping stick. But hey, that's good. That's what you want for big, heavy shiner fish. Anyway, that rod there is ready to go, son. It's a all reconditioned. Ready. The rod blank is great. I just love this for my shiner fishing. I just needed the better guides on it. Anyway, folks, I hope that solves a problem. When next time you break a rod, save the pieces and use it again on another rod if you happen to lose an insert or lose the guide itself. Anyway, I hope I've taught you a few things or two about how to fix your rods up. And so we'll see you again soon, and hey, thanks for watching.